Alright, and welcome back. How's everybody doing today? Glad you're here for a new episode. So today we're going to keep working on our ice track boat race area. I got a couple things I learned I'm going to share with you. Got some sand here. Well, let's talk about what I got set up first here. Let's go look at this. So one of the things I've decided is like, alright, let's just put down some boats. And it occurred to me that a 5-wide track is great for 2, but there's no way for me to really put 3, and I'd like to see this as more of a three-person track more than anything else, and there's just no way to easily get them to start at an equal kind of level here. So I might have to widen this up. I might have to widen this whole track up more than anything else, but I'm going to play with that here for a little bit as well. I also learned something else, so let me dump some of this stuff off. And I'll show you what I learned here. Oops, I need to get this for my example. Alright. So one of the questions I had was, is soul sand any faster or slower than the regular sand when you're on a boat? And I'm like, well, it'd be nice. The soul sand would be an interesting look to have at these areas as sort of a dead end area. So you come across here and it is slower, a little bit slower, but we run into a bit of a problem. And I'm not sure if it's going to happen here, but I guess it might. One of the reasons why soul sand is slower is because you can see here it's actually just a tad bit lower. I'm not sure if you can see it, but you can kind of see, yeah, right there. You can kind of see that just a little bit right there where I'm kind of highlighting there. I may try to zoom in on the video or something, but you can see that the soul sand is just like 1 pixel lower than the sand. And I'm just seeing if you can actually see the difference here. The bounding box ends up being the same, but yeah, it's not much. It's just a hair. You can kind of see right there where I'm clicking on it. I'm clicking on the side of it. And that's where that problem is that if you're in the boat and you go to soul and you run into the soul sand, you can't get back up onto the sand. And in this example, which means that you can't get back up onto the ice either. So as much as I would love to have soul sand out here, we're not going to be able to. So that was something I learned. Where we're going to put in our rough road areas that, along the back of this, so that as you're coming down here, we're going to put sand along all of this right in here. The soul sand would have been nice for a couple of reasons. One, I don't have to have a block underneath it, so I can just put it on the side of it and see how the track runs. But with sand, gravity takes over. So I will have to build the area that I want to use, where I want to put the sand, down a little bit so that I can get the sand in place. That's just going to make it, like this is not that much harder, but where we got out over here, I know we're going to want one on this, regardless of how big this is. I know we're going to want one over here on this turn, where this turn and part of this area is going to be sand to catch those people coming out of here too fast. So that's going to require me to do a little bit of creative slabbing, as it were. So let's just do that. We know we're going to have one over there. And this is going to take a little bit of work, but and I'm sure you guys have all seen this. Let's get that away, that away. Get some slabs. Let's get some spruce slabs. And we'll do this as just an example here of what I'm going to have to do. And like I said, I'm sure if you guys have played any modded or built some of the Ender stuff here, you've seen this technique where you swim down on water, and boy, am I out of practice. To get the slabs and to be able to place blocks underneath it. So, you know, placing blocks like that, and fall back down. You swim up the edge, kind of, to get back up. You used to do this quite a bit in the end, where you would want to go down a bunch of levels in the void and build down for nether farms, but we haven't done that in ages. And you should be able to swim all the way back up, pick up the water, and now that I've got slabs down here, I can put some into place right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some sand laid in over here. I want to go out about 3 blocks, I'm thinking. And get a couple of these places laid in with the sand and so forth, and see what we can get in place here. So should be kind of interesting once we come along here. Let's see what this is going to. Let's just sort of play with this example. So the idea behind it is you come across here and you're running across and you can't make this turn and you get caught in the sand. You got to fight your way back onto the track and into the water. So I'm going to go get myself back up to the top up there and get some more of these sand areas laid in. And then I will be back with you here after the cut. So I will catch you in a bit. Alright, and welcome back. So, I made some progress here. I widened this up one more, and I think we'll be okay. At least get 3 boats in here. So let's slap these suckers down. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we can get 3 comfortably in there. So we'll set up a starting line and set up a... I'll figure something out to identify the starting point for all of them and how they put them up. I may even have it be done by dispensers. You push a button and it'll put the right boat out there, and then pretty easily take care of that. But I've been working on the track, and I've gone and decided I'm going to use nether brick and nether brick fences for the outline of the track, and there's a couple reasons for it. The first one is that when you're looking at it, it really does have a nice look and appeal to you. You get the sharp contrast to the brick and the ice. The other thing is that I decided I wanted to use nether rack instead of the sand. You can see that I left the sand over there. It just becomes such a stark contrast. It doesn't go so well. This, I'd have to line it out in birch. Then that means I'd have to go back under here and probably put birch slabs underneath here to get that look and feel, which is okay. But I kind of want this to be here as well. So let's take a look at this as we're going by. So we got this going here, and crap. I'm gonna get better at this. So that's kind of a Got some weird lag on the server right now where it's jumping to you. But I think that this works pretty well here for the wide turns if you miss the turns and coming out of it. But there's another thing that and I was working with this that I think is just going to make this so much more fun. with netherrack, we've now created an obstacle. So when you're coming down, that's what you're going to be seeing is the fire sitting there. And what's really cool about this, and this is something that I didn't know, you not only get set fire, but you'll notice I've got the boat now in my inventory. So as you're, we've just made for a very interesting little thing here. So if you're coming and trying to make this turn and don't quite get there, you got bounced out. You've got to set it back down and get back into the boat to keep moving. So my thought on that is that kind of adds a little bit of a penalty if you go off of there, not just slowing down, but actually having to get out of the boat, take the damage, so forth and so on. So I think that kind of adds something to it that'll be kind of different there. I haven't seen anything like that done, but it's just a little thing there. As soon as you're back into the fire, boom, there we go. You know, you're not going to take a lot of damage there, fire protection and so forth, but it definitely kind of adds to the drama of it. And we come back in here and periodically change where they're at. They're not going to melt this packed ice, which is great. We don't have fire spread turned on, so they're not going to move. And they provide light in this area too, so I got to pull some of these torches out automatically. So what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go and I've got the sand laid in, and I'll come back and light these all up after a bit. The sand laid in on all the corners here, so I'm going to go lay some down this netherrack, and keep working this fence around, and get this all laid out here. And then I will bring you back after I get most of that done. And once we get the fence laid in, we'll take her for a test spin. So I will see you here after the cut. All right. So, for the record, kinetic energy is a thing. I decided to put myself into the wall over there, and I got almost everything back, but I lost my good pick, the Nerd Touch. So I'm in the process of trying to get some levels and get this thing healed up. So let me get that taken care of, and then I will go back to work, and we'll get that the border on that track laid in. So as soon as I get this all traded up, I will come back to you, and we will take a look at what I got done so far on the track. So I will see you after the cut. So I've got it all fenced in. Now we'll see if it's even playable. So I kind of got the starting area where I think I want to bring people down to start with, right here. And let's take this thing for a spin. See how well we do. And it's been a long time since I've done boats. So, oh boy. Get dizzy. Alright. Oh, no. That fire is bad. I'm gonna have to set up one thing. I did make one other kind of trip around just a little on some of these corners with playing with the fire and the netherrack on these. And one thing I did learn is that you can actually burn your boat depending on how you pop off the edge here. Man, this is tough. That is one thing that we're going to have to do is put a boat resupply area in there for sure, because you can pop out of the boat here. Let's see if I can make it happen. When you come into the fire, sometimes when the boat breaks, it jumps into the fire and is gone. So what we'll do is I'll set up some chests around here that you can pick up another boat and go from there. But that's what we've got. So for this. I think it turned out pretty good. I think I'll have to run this a couple more times and play with it a little bit to actually get a feel for how well um, this works as far as playability. But so far so good. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna start doing some lighting in here. And what we're gonna do is, because we're going with this theme, we're gonna use glowstone. And I'm trying to figure out exactly how I want to do the lighting. At the very least, I got to go figure out where I'm going to put it. So I am going to go and knock out some of these torches and see if I can get some lighting up, and then I'll figure out whether or not I'm going to go up with netherrack or how I'm going to build some overhead lighting for this. I may actually go. I'll lay out the lighting where I need it, so I can get a feel for where we're going to have possible issues, and then what I'll do is we'll see if we can figure out how we want to lay the lighting in. One of the other options I had been thinking about was doing redstone lamps with daylight sensors on them, which would work as well. So I think that's going to be an option as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So probably going to need 2. Thinking like that, kind of a lighting pattern. And then let's see here. So 15, 14, 13. So this should be 12 down here. Yeah, so 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. So that's going to be 7. So I want to make that 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Alright, so if we place another block here and a glowstone here, then what we should see is right here under this glowstone, we should see a 12. See where it says block 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And we should be right under this glowstone again. So that's how far apart we need to space these, which is basically, let's see here. Let's get these in place, make it a little easier to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So every 10 blocks we need to put a glowstone. That's what we need to do. So let me put a few more of these up, just probably back to this this area back over here, and then get an idea of what this may look like. And I'm going to throw up a couple of ideas and see what we can sort out as options. So let me go get a few more of these in place, and I will be back with you here in a bit. Alright, and welcome back. So this is what we got for our lighting option. And this is, I kind of like it. I've got them all up on daylight sensors so they turn on at night. That's kind of why I'm not sleeping right now and started recording here as the sun was going down. And I think this is going to work out pretty well. I'm going to get up here and see if I can, how this is going to look from a distance. I think that gives a pretty good lighting option. Looks like there may be some spawnable areas right in there. Let's take a look. Yeah, some 6s and 7s right in here. But I know we're also going to have fire going. I don't have a flint and steel on me in this area as well. And I just took that all off just so that I could not burn myself. But this is going to take me a while to do. This probably took about an hour figuring this out, and then started putting these into place so that they were relatively in good spots to light up everything. I'm going to have to play with a couple of these and sort of get these all laid in so that they make sense. But that is all that I've got time for today. I'm going to work on the rest of these off camera, try to get these all into place. So I'd love to hear your feedback on this. Anything that you would recommend on the track or options on it would be great to hear. You can leave the comments down below. As always, you can find me on Twitter. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, and if you want to see more, definitely subscribe. But until then, this is a Wandering Nerd.